Breaking right now at 10, the FBI raids former President Trump's Florida home. What we know so far about the reasons behind it.
Plus, candidates make one final push for votes with primary election day just hours away.
And how Wisconsin plans to spend millions of dollars from a nationwide opioid crisis settlement. You're watching News 3 Now at 10. And thanks for joining us. First, the breaking news out of Florida. The FBI executing a search warrant on former President Trump's Mar-a-Lago home.
The former president released a statement saying his home was under siege and compared it to the Watergate break-in, saying agents even broke into his safe. According to multiple sources, the FBI searched for documents related to the Presidential Records Act, a law that requires official records from the presidency to be saved in the National Archives. Failure to comply is potentially a violation of federal law. Trump was not at Mar-a-Lago at the time of the FBI raid, but confirmed it in a statement. Experts say investigators had to have strong evidence to get a warrant.
What they need is probable cause that there was a federal crime that was committed and probable cause that the evidence of that crime is where they say it was, in this case at Mar-a-Lago.
Back in February, the National Archives asked the Department of Justice to investigate Trump's handling of White House records. It came after officials retrieved 15 boxes of records from Mar-a-Lago that were meant for preservation under federal law. The papers include some classified material brought to the residence after the Trump administration departed the White House.
A big day tomorrow for the state of Wisconsin. It's primary election day. The polls open at 7 a.m., close at 8 p.m. You can still register to vote at the polls tomorrow. Just be sure to bring proof of residence. You'll also need an ID to vote, but it does not have to have your updated address on it. And since this is a primary election, you can only vote for one side of the ticket, Democrat or Republican, not both. Some of the big statewide races, the Democratic primary for U.S. Senate. Current Lieutenant Governor Mandela Barnes, the only well-known candidate remaining in the race after Sarah Godlewski, Tom Nelson, and Alex Lasry all withdrew. The winner will take on Senator Ron Johnson in November. And on the Republican side, the gubernatorial primary, the two frontrunners are businessman and Trump-endorsed candidate Tim Michels and former Lieutenant Governor Rebecca Kleefisch. She has the endorsement from former Vice President Mike Pence.
Michels was meeting with people and pushing for last-minute votes at the Wisconsin State Fair today in West Allis. He says it's the last push of what has been a busy week ahead of tomorrow's primary election.
We had a big swing around the state this weekend, made a lot of stops. Places like Sheboygan, Manitowoc, Neenah Menasha, Oshkosh, Fond du Lac. Everywhere I went, the crowds were huge. The response was incredible. I'm so excited about tomorrow.
Meanwhile, Rebecca Kleefisch says she's focused on looking forward, downplaying Trump's endorsement of Michels ahead of the primary.
The only endorsements that are going to matter ultimately are the ones that are counted tomorrow night.
While visiting an East Side Madison restaurant this morning, she laughed off a question about what she thought of the Michels rally last week and instead says she's focused on meeting the voters. Also today, the former Supreme Court Justice who was hired by Assembly Speaker Robin Vos to investigate the 2020 election is now endorsing Vos's primary challenger. In a robocall recording, Michael Gableman says he's backing Adam Steen. Gableman's investigation was supposed to wrap up by the end of last year, but was extended twice and allowed to run well over budget at a cost of more than $1 million to state taxpayers. In response, Speaker Vos wrote this: Justice Gableman knows overturning the election is both unconstitutional and impossible. His attempts to lie to voters and gain favor with Adam Steen are sad and show how desperate he is to remain relevant.
Tomorrow will be the first election where a new Madison law protecting election staff from harassment will take effect. That ordinance will further penalize disorderly conduct when directed at election workers, resulting in a citation of almost $700, a $250 increase. City Attorney Mike Haas says leaders want to put an end to a pattern of hostility toward election workers that has emerged in the past couple of years.
Personal harassment, yelling at election inspectors or clerk staff or the clerk, swearing.
He says people are welcome to observe at the polls and even make a challenge when appropriate and done respectfully. The ordinance was first introduced by Madison Mayor Satya Rhodes Conway in mid-July and unanimously approved by the City Council last Tuesday. Tomorrow, News 3 Now and Channel3000.com will be your go-to for election coverage and results. To watch the votes as they come in, as they're counted, or to follow a specific race, simply check out Channel3000.com and our new interactive election map.
Next tonight, let's go to Chief Meteorologist Gary Canalti with our certified most accurate forecast.
It's a much nicer night out here tonight than it has been the last couple of nights, and that's mainly because the humidity is gone. Let's take a look at the time lapse from the WISC-TV Skycam. Starting this morning, we had mostly cloudy skies. The showers were ending, but as we headed through the afternoon, started to see a few peaks of breaks in the clouds, and then sunshine started to appear after sunset. And you can see that Doppler track right now pretty much free of precipitation across Wisconsin. The last of the showers and thunderstorms in Indiana are moving into Ohio and heading away from our state. Dew points right now are in the upper 50s to the lower 60s, noticeably less than they were yesterday at this time. And as we take a look at current temperatures, they're cooler as a result. Here in Madison, we're at 64 degrees. That's actually our low for the day, and we'll probably see it drop a couple more degrees before midnight. Across Dane County right now, 64 in Madison, but Stoughton's at 63 degrees, 62 in Cross Plains, so it's a pleasant evening out here. Look for skies to be partly cloudy overnight. There could be some patchy fog. Otherwise, look for an overnight low temperature of around 58 degrees. We have a period of mainly dry weather ahead for us. I'll take a look at any chances for rain in the next 7 to 10 days in just a few minutes.
Next at 10, back in February, a massive lawsuit was settled with multiple drug manufacturers and distributors in relation to the ongoing opioid crisis. The $26 billion settlement will be dispersed to states over the next several years. The settlements require 85% of those funds be allocated to programs that will help address the ongoing crisis. And this past week, Wisconsin received its first $6 million from that settlement.
Armand Rahman has a breakdown of how Wisconsin health officials plan to use that money. Armand?
Eric and Charlotte, this $6 million is part of $31 million Wisconsin is set to receive this year. A lot of money, but state and health officials say it's hard to put a price tag on the damage done by opioid addiction. Attorney General Josh Kaul is calling it a win in the battle against the opioid epidemic.
Those efforts to hold pharmaceutical companies accountable, as well as our continuing efforts to investigate opioid manufacturers, are beginning to lead to real results and real dollars coming to the state of Wisconsin.
Real dollars going toward a real problem. According to the Department of Health, there have been 1,400 opioid deaths in the state so far this year.
These investments are critical to help Wisconsinites now.
Most of the $400 million Wisconsin is expected to be paid in total will go toward 3 phases. The first focuses on harm reduction, expanding Narcan direct programs and access to fentanyl test strips.
We know that over 3,200 Wisconsin lives have been saved by the Narcan Direct program from 2019 to 2021.
Officials say those test strips will save lives, too. In a recent overdose spike in Dane County, more than half were people who thought they were using oxycodone, which points to possible counterfeit pills in the area.
Often people believe that they're taking a particular illegal substance, but fentanyl is mixed in with that substance.
Phase 2 zeroes in on the need for new and updated facilities across Wisconsin, including $6 million for centers in tribal nations.
They have seen a dramatic increase in opioid deaths that has caused at least 3 tribes to declare states of emergency in response to the rise in substance use and the opioid epidemic.
Finally, Phase 3 focuses on long-term project investments like treatment and family support centers.
So our medication-assisted treatment program, the room and board costs for residential substance use disorder treatment, those are things similarly that can really help a person who's ready to make a change.
And the state says rather than making a unilateral decision, they will work with individual counties and municipalities to make sure the money goes where it's needed.
Armand, thank you. And new tonight, police are still looking for 2 suspects involved in a shooting last week at the Mall of America. That shooting happened Thursday after an altercation inside the mall's crowded Nike store. Fortunately, no one was hurt. According to the Bloomington, Minnesota police chief, nationwide warrants for at least 2 men have been issued. At least 3 others who helped these suspects after the crime have been arrested. In Georgia, Gregory and Travis McMichael, the father and son convicted in the killing of Ahmaud Arbery, both sentenced to second life sentences today on federal hate crime, kidnapping, and weapons charges. Their neighbor, William Bryan Jr., is the 3rd man involved in Arbery's killing. He was sentenced to 35 years. That'll be served at the same time as his state sentence, which is also a life sentence.
President Biden and the First Lady are back in D.C. tonight after spending most of the day in eastern Kentucky, getting a close-up look at the devastating flood damage. They were joined by Kentucky Governor Andy Beshear. At an elementary school now converted to a donation center, the president received a briefing on response efforts. It's the president's 2nd visit to the state in less than a year. Last December, he surveyed damage after tornadoes ripped through the western part of Kentucky, killing 77 people. Many were hopelessly devoted to her singing voice. Olivia Newton-John died today at the age of 73, and a memorial is growing on her star along the Hollywood Walk of Fame.
While she was well known for her role in Grease, she was also an advocate for cancer research. Ana Cabrera reports.
Olivia Newton-John shot to stardom opposite John Travolta in the musical blockbuster Grease. It was 1978. She was 29 years old, but played an innocent teen in love with a boy from the other side of the tracks. Newton-John first won over devoted fans as an award-winning singer in the early 70s. Let me be there in your morning, let me be there in your night. Let Me Be There earned her a Grammy Award for Best Country Female Vocal Performance. And her 1974 chart-topping hit, I Honestly Love You, won the Grammy for Record of the Year. Over the course of her career, Newton-John sold more than 100 million albums, scored multiple #1 hits, including Magic from her box office dud Xanadu, and one that showcased her sexier side. Born in England, Newton-John moved to Australia at the age of 5. By the time she was a teenager, she was already performing on Australian TV shows like Bandstand. In addition to her singing, Newton-John was well known as a tireless advocate for breast cancer research and early detection. She was diagnosed with the disease in 1992, and her successful treatment inspired her to help others.
I'm really thrilled that now I can give back in some way and try and help other women who are going through that experience, because it's a very difficult thing to go through alone.
The Australian singer faced another crisis in 2005 when her boyfriend Patrick McDermott went missing during a fishing trip off the California coast. He was never found.
The pain will always be there. I'll always miss him. I love him. I miss him. But, you know, I can't do anything about it. We don't know what happened, and I don't know if I ever will know what happened. But I've tried to go forward and do something positive with it by creating music for myself and hopefully for others.
And she never stopped creating music, performing into her 60s during a 3-year residency at Las Vegas's Flamingo Casino. Newton-John's breast cancer returned in 2013. In 2017, she was diagnosed with spine cancer. Despite life's challenges, she always remained grateful.
I don't think I'd change anything, because I've had such an amazingly interesting life and done so many things and never planned on any of them, really, except singing, because that's all I could do.
And we are also learning about the death of Pulitzer Prize-winning historical novel author David McCullough. His son said he died peacefully at his home in Massachusetts yesterday. His books covered massive subjects in history and epic figures. He earned 2 Pulitzers for his biographies of U.S. Presidents Harry Truman and John Adams. McCullough also earned 2 National Book Awards. President George W. Bush awarded him the Presidential Medal of Freedom, the highest civilian honor in the U.S. He was 89 years old. And still to come tonight, after a soggy and dreary start to the week, things will be drying out this week. Gary will return with his full forecast.
Plus, $100,000 in damage while only making away with $500 of stolen goods. Video from this brazen burglary is next.
Wait till you see me on the downhill.
See you at home.
Enjoy advanced safety at the Lexus Golden Opportunity Sales Event.
Mom, Abel's looking for you.
Oh, all right. As parents, we know that all Wisconsin kids should grow up in a healthy, safe world. As a women's health doctor, I know that access to abortion services is fundamental to personal and economic success. I'm going to fight for financial security so Wisconsin families can succeed and even dream. I'm Jillian Bettino, a mother, a doctor, a fighter, and I'm running for Wisconsin State Treasurer.
Planning a remodel? Don't toss your cabinets, furniture, and appliances. Donate to Habitat Restore. Your items stay out of landfills while proceeds create housing solutions for hardworking families. Build a stronger community with Habitat Restore of Dane County.
Ron Johnson never thinks about people like me. He's all about those Washington guys. Drug companies, insurance companies. Johnson took their money and pushed for billions in special corporate tax breaks, and even admitted benefiting from them himself. No wonder Johnson's net worth doubled since he's been in Washington. Meanwhile, Johnson thinks we ought to consider raising the retirement age. We ought to put Ron Johnson into retirement instead. SMP is responsible for the content of this ad.
Culligan Water delivers. From your first call, to your first sip, to your first soak. Culligan, give us a tap. The only water that comes with a van.
I'm Rebecca Clayfish, and your choice for governor is clear. I'm the Tea Party mom who took on the Madison establishment and won. Tim Michaels is a Madison insider who's enriched himself with your tax dollars. I stood with Scott Walker to cut your taxes. Tim Michaels sided with the union bosses and pushed to raise our gas tax to make himself richer. Tim Michaels is out for himself. I'm Rebecca Clayfish. As governor, I'll always fight for you.
Discover intuitive technology at the Lexus Golden Opportunity Sales Event.
It's go time, people. We all have a story to tell. So let's come together, laugh out loud, to share some hope and joy, all on my new show.
Weekdays on WISC-TV starting September 12th. You're watching News 3 Now at 10.
Welcome back. Incredible video from Ohio. Someone drove a stolen utility truck right through the front of a camera store, and it was no accident. It was a burglary. Happened early Friday morning in Columbus. The alarm company reported the incident to police, but the thieves were gone by the time they got there. The store owner says they got away only with about $500 worth of merchandise, but caused about $100 grand in damage. Well, Toyota offering a new buyback program after the wheels literally came off some of their SUVs. Specifically, it's the BZ4X electric SUV. The automaker says the wheels could fall off while driving, even after just a short time on the road. Last month, people were warned not to drive it, but now Toyota is simply asking people to send the cars back altogether for a refund because they haven't figured out how to fix the problem.
While many airlines may be facing tough times, Australian air giant Qantas is taking a novel approach to its staffing crunch. It is asking some of its top executives to roll up their sleeves and work as baggage handlers. The airline says 100 senior staff will be sorting, scanning, and loading luggage at Sydney and Melbourne airports for the next 3 months. Qantas says it's only temporary while it attempts to hire thousands of new workers. California's Death Valley experienced widespread damage after it got nearly a year's worth of rainfall over just 3 hours Friday. Here are before and after images from a European Space Agency satellite. The National Weather Service says Friday's 1.47 inches of rain is considered a 1,000-year event. Flooding and debris has prompted the closure of all roads in the park. It is official. 2022 had one of the 3 hottest Julys on record globally. That's according to the European Union's climate monitor Copernicus. In Europe, the heat waves brought record-breaking temperatures in the west and north. Spain, the UK, and France all experienced at least one day over 104 degrees Fahrenheit.
Well, check this out. People who complain about not having enough time in a day, they may actually have a point, albeit a tiny one. The shortest day on Earth since the invention of the atomic clock was recorded June 29th. According to the International Earth Rotation and Reference System Service, the Earth's rotation was nearly 1.6 milliseconds short of the usual 24-hour day on that date. That beats out the previous shortest day on record, which was in July of 2020.
I can picture some guy with a stopwatch, just trying to figure that out.
Milliseconds. I mean, how about the rain in Death Valley here? That's crazy.
Well, again, 1.5 inches of rain there.
That's
right, is because it just doesn't soak into the ground. It runs off, and that's why they had tremendous amounts of flooding. Closer to home, we didn't have quite a once-in-a-thousand-year flood, but last night and the night before, we had heavy amounts of rain. These rain totals, basically, especially to our south and west of Madison, were about 2 months worth of rain in about 2 days. And you can see parts of southwestern Wisconsin, northwestern Illinois hit the hardest. This bullseye area here in northern Illinois around Freeport, 8 to 10 inches or more of rain. Rockford, Illinois picked up over 6 inches of rain, 4 to 8 inches through Grant and Lafayette counties, and about 2 to 4 inches through much of Iowa County. Here in Dane County, a swath of about 2 to 4 inches from Stoughton through Madison and then up into the southern portions of Sauk County. Here at the station, we picked up about 2.5 inches of rain, but north and south of there, still about a 1 to 2 inch or locally 3-inch rainfall. So a good soaking rain for most of us. Some areas got too much rain. Fortunately, we've got some dry weather ahead of us. In fact, future track precipitation over the next 10 days shows not much in the way of rain. Normally this time of year, we should be seeing about 1.5 inches of rain over this time period. Probably about half of that for much of southern Wisconsin, and parts of southwestern Wisconsin might even see less than that, which is good news because that's the area that got hit hardest. But most of the shower and thunderstorm activity over the next couple of days will favor the northern portions of the state. Here in southern Wisconsin, for the most part, we're going to be dry. So in the 3 things you need to know, there won't be much in the way of rain chances over the next 10 days. Maybe a shower or thunderstorm chance Wednesday night. Friday night into Saturday, about a 1 in 3 chance of a thunderstorm, and then the same thing about Tuesday of next week. High temperatures will be in the 70s tomorrow, warm up into the middle 80s for Wednesday, but then drop back into the 70s for Thursday, and we should stay in the upper 70s to near 80 degrees through the weekend and through much of next week. Very comfortable. High temperatures are comfortable today, mainly because of cloud cover here. 77 in Madison, but that was early in the day. Most of the day we saw temperatures in the upper 60s to lower 70s. The heat has been pushed down to the south. Temperatures still in the 90s. Southern Missouri, southern Illinois, down south of the Ohio River. But the jet stream is starting to sag southward, and as it does so, that will allow cooler Canadian air to move in. The dividing line is a stationary front and a cold front out to the west. Waves of low pressure running along it, just like the pattern that was around here the last couple of days. Now that's down to the south. That's where all the rain is. High pressure coming in from the north and west. Temperatures are comfortable, 60s across Wisconsin right now, upper 60s to near 70 out to the west, with those dew point temperatures, 50s to around 60 degrees. Compared to the 70-degree plus dew points that we've had the last couple of days, this is the kind of weather you want to see. Tomorrow, we might see a little fog early in the morning, otherwise becoming mostly sunny and pleasant with a high temperature of 78 degrees. And as we look at the 7 to 10-day forecast, 84 for Wednesday. Shower thunderstorm chance Wednesday night as a cold front drops through. That brings temperatures back to the mid-70s for Thursday and Friday. A slight chance for a shower thunderstorm Friday night into Saturday and maybe Tuesday night or Tuesday of next week. Otherwise, dry weather with very comfortable temperatures, highs in the upper 70s.
And coming up in sports, Ches Malusi looking like the Ches Malusi of old so far at fall camp, where the Badger running back is in his road to recovery after tearing his ACL. That's next on News 3 Now.
News 3 Now First Warn Weather is brought to you by Lazy Boy Home Furnishings and Decor.
Discover a shopping and design experience as comfortable as the furniture. Lazy Boy Home Furnishings and Decor. Schedule your free design consultation today.
Hi, I'm asking you to join me in voting for Rebecca Clayfish. Rebecca helped me beat the big government special interest. Tim Michael's company sided with the union bosses and tried to stop our conservative reforms. Rebecca Clayfish is the conservative fighter Wisconsin needs.
Come on, Brian.
Dad, look.
Brian, come on!
I'm Courtney.
I'm Brian.
Ready, Brian? Summer won't last forever, but you can go out and make memories that will during Toyota's National Sales Event.
Every new Toyota comes with Toyota Care, a 2-year or 25,000-mile maintenance plan and roadside assistance. See your local Toyota dealer or visit toyota.com to learn more.
Come in today.
Toyota, let's go places.
What's so great about being a Pick and Save Boost member? Free delivery on the Pick and Save products you love and more rewards like double fuel points. Boost by Pick and Save Fresh Perks, a new level of membership starting as low as $59 a year. Learn more at pickandsave.com.
And my economic plan is moving this country in a better direction.
What planet is he living on? Record gas prices, 40-year high inflation, costing families $5,000 more for their necessities. Sorry, Joe, that's the wrong direction. Here on planet Earth, Senator Johnson voted against Biden's massive deficit spending that sparked inflation, and he passed tax cuts to help Wisconsin families survive the economic turmoil caused by Democrats.
I'm Ron Johnson, and I approve this message.
Hey, we're here at the local farmers market where Informed Choice Insurance Agency is offering fresh, hand-picked local Medicare. What do you mean when you say shop local for Medicare?
Your local Medicare plans have all of the bells and whistles the national TV ads promise, only better because you're working with local agents who know the doctors, specialists, and the hospital networks inside and out. You're not going to get that talking to a national call center wanting to check your
zip code. Don't be fooled by national TV hype. When it comes to your Medicare options, keep it local with Informed Choice Insurance Agency, and their services are free.
I'm prepared to lose my job to do what's right because this campaign is not about me, it's about you. I'm running to change the system. I'm the only one in this race who has federal legislative experience.
I'm Stephen Olikara, running for the U.S. Senate. I approve this message because we are the exhausted majority.
Hey, Dad, I'm almost out.
I got you.
Any questions, Chris?
All good. Thanks, Maura. There you go. One new inhaler.
Nice. Did you get my refill, too?
Maybe.
There you go, sir.
You're a lifesaver.
So nice day.
Healthier is managing all your family's prescriptions in one app. CVS Pharmacy. Healthier happens together.
There are big differences between Tim Michaels and me. I clip coupons, drive a minivan, and cut taxes. Tim Michaels lives in a Connecticut mansion and tried to raise our gas tax. As governor, I'll put your family first.
Wisconsin's new offensive coordinator, Bobby Ingram, has to smile every time he thinks of his 1-2 punch in the backfield. It's a matchup nightmare for defenses, that is, if Chez Mellusi is back to being 100% after tearing his ACL. After a week of fall camp, the Badger running back looks to be back to his old self again. He's had no setbacks during his comeback and has cleared each day's hurdle of doing a little bit more than the last.
Someone would just, in a team setting, get a handoff and go through it, and it wasn't alive. But you know, you got hit a little bit, so that was good to see. And then he had another one where he kind of got banged and knocked to the ground, and you know, he got back up. You know what I mean? All those are you don't want to take for granted. Those are hurdles that he's got to get through.
The first coaches poll of the season was released this afternoon, and the Badgers enter the year ranked 20th in the country. Wisconsin is one of 4 Big Ten teams ranked to start the season, joining Ohio State, Michigan, and Michigan State in the preseason poll. We knew it would be the case, but Matt LaFleur made it official today when he named Jordan Love the Packers' starting quarterback for Friday's preseason opener at San Francisco. Love is currently having his best training camp as a member of the Green and Gold. As far as Aaron Rodgers goes, if he'll play in the preseason, LaFleur said that decision won't be made until after next week's joint practices with the Saints. Bucks basketball is right around the corner. Milwaukee released its 5-game preseason schedule, starting with a home game against the Grizz on October 1st. Then the Deer will play 2 games against the Hawks in Abu Dhabi, take on the Bulls in the United Center, and wrap up the preseason on October 12th against the Nets. After traveling for most of the day on Sunday, the Wisconsin men's basketball team has arrived in France. Today, they toured parts of Paris on a double-decker bus and practiced saying hello, please, thank you, and goodbye in French. Tomorrow, they'll travel to Normandy for more sightseeing. Their first game is on Wednesday.
Yeehaw! Yeah, here at the Shaw Charity Classic, I mean, wow. I've always wanted one of these cowboy hats, let me tell you.
That was Jerry Kelly yesterday after his Shaw Charity Classic win, and you could say the Madison native was fired up. Speaking of fire, Kelly's been on fire lately. His last 6 starts, he's got 3 wins, and now he's second in the Schwab Cup standings. We're back after this.
Hi, I'm asking you to join me in voting for Rebecca Clayfish. Rebecca helped me beat the big government special interest. Tim Michaels' company sided with the union bosses and tried to stop our conservative reforms. Rebecca Clayfish is the conservative fighter Wisconsin needs.
Nebraska is kind of like that odd kid. Didn't say much in school. Slightly peculiar, maybe. But when you took the time to get to know him, turned out he was pretty interesting. We know some people won't take the time, but if you're someone who will, odds are you're gonna like it here. Nebraska. Honestly, it's not for everyone.
I'm U.S. Senate candidate Peter Pekarsky approving this ad paid for by Pekarsky for Wisconsin. The public airwaves are being abused in Wisconsin. to prevent you from hearing what I plan to say at the WTMJ and WISN-TV candidate events. The stations are dishonestly using bogus rules to allow only candidates approved by the media to be heard. This is wrong. I will work to end media censorship of information you need. Please vote for Peter Pekarsky on August 9. Thank you very much.
Wow, this is where you work now?
Figured I deserved a more inspiring space. And with home values being up, I had a lot of equity. So I got a home equity line of credit from Summit, and voila, added a home office.
Took your business to the next level.
Hey, you two have been in your place for a couple years now. Any fun plans?
Well, we just finished a refi with Summit.
Really?
And the plan is to make a bunch of great memories.
We're gonna use the savings to get a camper.
Whatever your goals, Summit Credit Union can help you use your home's equity to go get them.
I'm prepared to lose my job to do what's right because this campaign is not about me, it's about you. I'm running to change the system. I'm the only one in this race who has federal legislative experience.
I'm Stephen Olikara, running for the U.S. Senate. I approve this message because we are the exhausted majority.
It's Terrific Tuesdays at Hy-Vee. This Tuesday, General Mills cereal only $1.48. Oscar Mayer Lunchables, Naturals or P3, only $1.99. Hy-Vee cottage cheese, only 99 cents. And avocados, only 77 cents each. Tuesday only. And save even more with Hy-Vee Fuel Saver. Right now, save up to $7.07 per gallon with your Hy-Vee Fuel Saver Plus Perks card. And visit HyVeeDeals.com for even more deals.
In a recent clinical study,
patients using Salonpas patch reported reductions in pain severity,
using less or a lot less oral pain medicines,
and improved quality of life. That's why we recommend Salonpas. It's good medicine.
There are big differences between Tim Michaels and me. I clip coupons, drive a minivan, and cut taxes. Tim Michaels lives in a Connecticut mansion and tried to raise our gas tax. As governor, I'll put your family first.
Sponsored by RG Heating and Air Conditioning, installing train equipment and servicing all brands.
You're watching News 3 Now at 10.
Gary's here with the final check.
Temperatures starting to cool off. They're getting close to the dew points. You can see those temperatures are now mid-60s with dew point temperatures in the lower 60s. So we could see some patchy areas of fog overnight. Shouldn't be too bad.
All right, Gary, thanks. Thanks for joining us for News 3 Now at 10.
Do something good, and we'll see you back here tomorrow.